I'm sure that you've heard that if you're trying to cut or even just trying to lose weight as a fat person, that weight loss is really simple. And I was told this all the time. I was told that all I needed to do was eat less, snack less often, and just do 10,000 steps a day. But the thing is, there's one common misconception that a lot of people face when they start their weight loss journey. And I wanted to go through the biggest mistake that I made on my journey from 110 kilos to 95 kilos, and how in a whole year of attempting to cut, going back and forth, I've made most of this progress in the last 3 months, losing most of the fat on my stomach and continuing to look better. What I'm about to say might sound like the dumbest thing you ever heard, but I always looked down upon anything that wasn't high intensity cardio. I would watch all these other people at the gym doing their low intensity steady state cardio, and then I would hop on the elliptical and go as fast as I could for as long as I could. I often had this superiority complex, and it's not even like I was losing that much weight. I was doing maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, but the fact that I could burn 100 calories in those 5 minutes or 200 calories in those 10 minutes made me think that I was being way more efficient than the other people I saw at the gym. It might have been true that I was being more efficient than the people that I saw around me, or the middle-aged people and the old people that were doing steady state cardio. The truth was, I wasn't actually burning all that much. When I approached cardio in this way, I approached cardio as something that was a trek, something that I absolutely hated doing, but something that I wanted to get done fast, something that I wanted to get out of the way so I could lose a little bit of weight. That kept my cardio sessions at maybe 5, 10 or 15 minutes of just high intensity interval training. It would leave me exhausted. It would leave my limbs almost unfunctionable because it would be spazzing out, and I would just be so tired for the rest of the day. I had this idea that cardio sucks no matter what you do. So why not just get it done faster? And it honestly felt so unsustainable. And that's the thing. I never really did it that often. I tricked my brain into thinking that I was working harder than all the other people around me. So I wouldn't actually do cardio all that often. I would maybe do it 2 or 3 times a week, every second day, because I was so convinced that it was such a hard thing to do and I was working harder than everyone else, so I didn't need to do it every day. I wasn't actually burning that many calories. You can imagine that maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, you're burning about 150 to 200 calories when you're doing a high intensity interval training on the elliptical. But I never actually burnt that much because, first of all, I wasn't doing it every day. And second of all, I wasn't doing it for that long. And I sort of tricked myself into thinking I was being so efficient with my training that I didn't need to do it anymore. And that's exactly the trap that I fell into. Once I fell from about 110 kilos to 105, I thought that this training methodology, this idea that all I needed to do was high intensity, would last until I reached a lower body fat. But the thing is, it never worked. I often catapulted from about 105 to 100 and I would go back up to 105 because I was so inconsistent with the cardio because I fucking hated it. If you hate the version of cardio that you're doing, you're not going to be consistent with it over the long term. You're just going to be someone who gets on the cardio machine whenever he feels like it for about 5 or 10 minutes and can't do anything past that because he's so exhausted from the cardio that he does. See, it's important to factor different types of cardio into your weight loss journey. You could go high intensity interval training on the elliptical for about 15 minutes and burn maybe 250 calories, but you could also just incline walk for 25 minutes, but you would just take a little bit longer and burn the same amount of calories. It's different amounts of effort for the same result. And the thing is, I wasn't willing to even see any of this out because I had this disdain towards low intensity, steady state cardio. I wanted the results fast. I wanted it now, and I wanted it in less time than it would take these other people to achieve the same result. That's why I stuck with my high intensity cardio that I couldn't maintain. In the back of my mind, I always knew that I hated doing cardio like this, but I had something against steady state cardio. And this leads me on to about 4 months ago, where I hit up my friend to go to the gym, and he tells me that he's going to do 40 minutes incline walk. And to this point, I've been quite against steady state cardio because I just hate doing cardio. I hated doing cardio. I felt like it would suck the entire time. So why bother doing 40 minutes when you could get it done in about 5 or 10 minutes high intensity? I let go of my pride for just this one day, and I did 40 minutes of incline walking with him. And I realized that it was way fucking easier. And I found that cardio was something that I actually started to enjoy. Back then, I would train maybe 6 times a week with weights and do cardio maybe 2 or 3 times a week because I was doing this high intensity cardio that I absolutely hated. After this one workout with my friend, I actually decided to lock in to the cut. So I ended up doing more cardio and less weights. Nowadays, I have a program where I go do cardio at the gym 6 days a week and I do weightlifting only 4 days a week. Once I realized that cardio could be so enjoyable, that I could actually have steady weight loss progress every single day by doing a different form of cardio, I started doing more cardio more often and I ended up losing more weight and looking even better. I'm still with this routine and I see visual improvements almost every single week. So all that being said, the moral of this story is to not underestimate the power of steady state low intensity cardio. I do it at a moderate intensity. So something you'll see me do for about 40 or 50 minutes every day now is I'll do a 15% incline at about 5 kilometers per hour. Doing this for about 40 or 50 minutes every day, it burns about 500 to 600 calories, which is a pretty insane amount. You could have a whole nother meal with that amount of calories you've burnt. And it's made cutting super easy and it's made weight loss honestly really enjoyable because I don't have to face cardio like it's something that I hate. I don't get to the end of my workout and think that cardio is going to sap all the rest of the energy out of me anymore. I used to think that way because all I would do was high intensity for about 5 or 10 minutes. But this low intensity, I wouldn't say low intensity, more like moderate intensity, steady state cardio is a way better way to go about it because I feel like it's so much more sustainable. And for me, at least, it's made my weight loss progress so much easier. At the end of the day, bro, just do what you enjoy doing. If you like doing high intensity and you can do that every single day without fail, then do high intensity. But if you're looking for a more passive and easier approach, I recommend doing incline walking for a longer period of time. For example, 15% incline at 5 kilometers per hour for about 40 or 50 minutes. And it burns a ton of calories and it makes you feel amazing after you've done it. All right. That's all I wanted to make this video about. If you are struggling with your weight loss, I'll put a link in the bio to work with me one-on-one to see if we can get you the same results that I got. Do your cardio and keep your diet in check, and you'll see those weight loss gains in the months coming. All right. See ya.